Hey everybody, so just wanted to share another quick tip that I don't think is really on YouTube, and it's so kind of disappointingly simple. I've used it a lot in my career for helping kind of clean up noise without necessarily using like a reduced noise plugin or an AI noise reducer. And this pretty much works on any kind of like 3D footage or just footage in general, depending on the motion that's happening in a scene. Works better with like slow pans, not really fast action shots. This is kind of perfect for like some of the 3D stuff that I just do on the side. So for example, here's some stuff out of Redshift and C4D. It's just some like crystal things I've been rendering out in the background that take forever. And because usually I like to do such low light, and I actually had to not use glass in this scene because I couldn't handle it on my little graphics cards. But even with the noise reducer that comes with Redshift, like the AI noise reduction thing, it does its best, but it doesn't quite get everything. And as you can see, there's still like a lot of random pattern blotchiness happening here, and it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're like looking on a mobile device, like if this goes to Instagram, it's like maybe somebody will see it. If it's online, if you're on YouTube viewing it, it's pretty obvious. And this kind of stuff is hard to get rid of, especially if you don't want to have super long render times, more than an hour a frame and stuff like that. So one of the things is you can just use a noise reduction. Now you could use the reduce noise plugin, which I'm not gonna see. Do I even have that on here? No, I don't have it installed. But that one's pretty good. It's called Reduce Noise V4, and I know there's a bunch of other ones. Maybe Topaz makes one. But my trick is like one of the oldest. Oh man, it's been around forever, but it still kind of works. It's really cheap. So all you have to do is we're just going to kind of overlay motion on top of each other by one frame. So you duplicate, go to your opacity by hitting T, and this works in Premiere. Like if you're just editing, you do the same thing. You duplicate your clip, and you're just going to bring the top layer down to 50%, and then I zoom in just to make sure I'm only grabbing it, and I offset this top layer by one frame, like that. Or you could do it the other way. Actually, I do it the other way, and it might just kind of give you different results. But if we preview this, you can see it looks pretty different. I mean, there's still some stuff going on, but it's not as necessarily loud and aggressive as the noise was before. And it's really nothing special to it. It's like super old school trick, and all that's happening is you're just kind of overlaying the next frame of noise at half power on top of the other one so that it kind of mutes it. Now again, this becomes a problem if you have a really fast shot that's like zooming or moving, because if you did that you would see ghosting. So you have to make sure that once you do this, your ghosting isn't that extreme. And in my case, the camera movements are so slow, there's no ghosting at all. So then here's another shot. This one I was thinking about doing some real heavy like tracking, because there's so much crap fluttering back here, and I was like, well, I draw a mask around this like crystal here and just kind of like make a darkness fade up, which I might still do. But let's see how well the trick works on this. And here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see just how awful that stuff is. Yeah, it's pretty noisy. So same thing, duplicate, change to 50%, and then just to zoom in to be accurate, grab it by one frame back. And you could, if you wanted to, you could go more than one frame. Let's just try doing that. Let's do 2 frames and just see what that looks like, because I haven't tried that yet. This shot moves a little bit faster with the rotation, so it might look a little weirder. Yeah, you can kind of see the ghosting. Well, it's not really ghosting. It's just the thing that should be in sharp focus like this looks a little soft. So like if I turn our layer back on, see how sharp that is, and then you're adding this on top. So it kind of blurs it if you scoot it too much. So let's just go back and do one frame only. And with this, it's like, yeah, you're not losing too much. Zoom back out. Yeah, that's not bad. It's certainly less aggressive, which is great. And then if you really wanted to, you could, roto out the objects that are in focus and just apply like a, an unsharpened mask. Would you apply it to the original, or would you apply it to the, let's see, what much is this sharpening going to get to be? Like, yeah, because that's pretty sharp. So then, like, with that underneath, does that do anything? Yeah, it kind of does a little bit. So, and could you apply that to the top as well? Yes, you could. So, how does that look? Oh. Slower render. But yeah, you can click out of this video at this point. That's all the trick there is. It's nothing crazy. It's just a really old school thing that surprising. I don't think I learned off YouTube or anything. It was just like some old school editors I used to work with. They're like, "What are you doing? Just do this. You don't need to run a noise cleaner or anything. Just do this and move on." It's about saving time, I guess, is kind of the MO of how things used to be. So you're going to hang out for a little bit. We'll see what this looks like. What I'm waiting for is just for this, like, crystal to get more into the light here and see just how blurry it looks. And I mean, the other thing is that I usually you'd roto, because I'm just applying sharpness to everything, even the noise we just tried to mute, so it's kind of counterintuitive. You'd want to track and roto out the things that you want to look nice, and then even like blur, if you wanted to, you could add lens blur in After Effects with like a Luma ramp to get the stuff to kind of be even more nicer. There's definitely a few things, but you know, I'm not gonna do all those right now. Let's just see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, it's definitely sharper. Still kind of have that noise coming back aggressively, but anyways, that's it. So hope that helps you if you didn't already know that. Thanks.